Hmm.
The ones I saw, they put them up like a little bit above 6 foot tall.
Huh? Sorry?
Her garden there.
Oh.
Yes.
I saw one person put it up to 6 foot tall, where
Okay.
and it was like how you got it set up, where and they were nice and spread out, where they wouldn't choke each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I'm
Good.
5'9", right? So you
Yeah.
can see this is just slightly taller than me.
Yeah.
So a
Okay.
6-foot person can walk down this without bending too much.
What height are you?
5'9",
Okay.
Cause yeah,
172, I think, centimeters.
what kind of shrub that is back there behind you? Is that
This,
an yeah? Is that evergreen?
yes. This
Okay.
is one of the shelter belts that they have. And I think it's called, the word's gone out of my head. It's something sporum. No, pittosporum. No, it is not pittosporum. Gosh, I've forgotten what its name is. Something. Can't remember, sorry.
That's okay. Because why I was asking for it is because on one of my videos I made up about bees, and I was because like the evergreen trees, their pollen. I don't know, like if how thick they are of pollen. Where when a large amount of the trees they release their pollen, if the tree builds up a lot of it when it goes out and all that, how does it like the bees? How do they work with that stuff with that amount of pollen? The
Okay. Hold
pollen?
up. Let me actually get the show started, and then we can get into all that stuff because we haven't even done an introduction yet. So.
Okay. Let me mute.
Okay.
Pittosporum,
Yeah.
maybe. Sorry. Yes, I think that's right. Yeah, gotcha.
So let me do a quick countdown, and then I'll do an introduction, and we'll get right into doing the walk around. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Earth Growing Together. I'm Roger Hanson, your host, and today we are back with Bob Dub in New Zealand. She's going to do a walk around with us, and we just to give a recap of how everything from episode 1 to now. I'd like to first ask Bob Dub, first of all, what's the weather like now compared to what it was last week? Because I noticed it's beautiful out there.
Magnificent day. This is what is so deceptive about New Zealand, is you get these absolutely glorious, magnificent days once in a moon. Since I spoke to you last, it's been wet and windy and overcast, and we've had some really, really serious flooding down in South Island by Kaikoura. Rivers have burst their banks, and there's been all sorts of like real intense stuff happening. But today is beautiful. Absolutely glorious.
Yeah, it is. Now, for the audience, for the viewers, man, tell them what they're about to see today, Bob Dub.
Okay, so first of all, please let me say, wait, hold on, aren't you going to do weather too?
Well, I mean, with us, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you, like, we have still been having hot days. But the weird part is like just after we did our last episode, okay, and I'm not kidding you, it was 93 degrees here, which is like 36 or 30 degrees Celsius, I think Mark said in England.
Yeah, by 30, yeah.
At that temperature, it just started raining, and I mean, it was a hailstorm, not a hailstorm, but it was huge. I mean, just downpour. Okay, and this is in 90 something degree weather. And that's the weirdest thing that's happened here, and it's just been hot and humid for the entire time. It's not as bad, like it wasn't. It's not close to 100 degrees, but it is. It is still hot and humid. And you're right too. You're right too. But Mark, what about your neck of the woods? What's your weather?
I'm virtually the same as you. Today we've had a really hot day. Again, up to about same as you, around 33 degrees centigrade, 91 degrees Fahrenheit.
Have you had rainfall?
Because I'm on the third floor of a building, and I've been in here most of the day. I've been absolutely melting, so I actually just went out for half an hour just before we started, just to get some fresh air and just to have a walk.
Yeah. Have you been getting rain too, though?
No, not that I noticed. No, it's been relatively dry for the last couple of days.
Interesting.
It's normal in Africa for there to be rain when there's very, very hot weather. Usually what happens is that around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the clouds have all built up and all the evaporation has caused these great big cumulus clouds. And so around about 2, they just break and you have wonderful, cooling weather. And then after that, you get warm evenings again.
Actually, funny enough, I'm sweating now.
Just talking about the weather makes you sweat. It's messed up, isn't it? It's like I'm sitting here just thinking like I'm going to start sweating too. But the coffee doesn't help.
I'm just looking at my image on this camera, and yeah, I've got sweat. I've got a very sort of bright sort of forehead, shiny forehead.
So,
well, even in South Africa, I spoke to my dad yesterday or the day before, I think, actually, and he has just gone out and bought himself a heater because he's so cold there.
Oh,
it's
wow.
very, very, very unusual. So we're having a real cold snap here in the south while you're having such hot weather there in the north.
My goodness. So with your walk around and everything on your property, I guess the first best question to ask is how long have you and Colin been growing on that property? I mean, how long have you guys been doing this? Because this is a pretty big project. You know what I mean? This isn't a garden.
No, this isn't a garden. I think he's had this for about 18 years.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of effort.
So he bought it before the global financial crisis of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought it with the job that he was at, and he bought it instead of an insurance policy. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got something frozen.
Oh, I can see. I can see it fine. You're
good.
You are doing great.
Okay, all right. Okay, so he's had it. So then the financial crisis came, and he lost his job. So he left Australia and he came back here because at least he had a place to live. And he was unemployed for 2 years and just sort of hanging out. And then he managed to find a job down in Wellington, which is the capital city. And that's where we met. That's where I moved in with him. I was renting his spare room in his apartment. And then more and more.
That's a love
we
story.
moved up here.
That's a love story
moved
in
up
the
here
making right
20
there.
Yes, it is a love story. It's a wonderful love story. So we moved here in 2018 from Wellington. He left his job and he started freelancing again. So that was 10 years after he'd lost his first job. And so we've lived here and we've been freelancing. And then when he got cancer, he worked all the way through his cancer. And I think as soon as he was given the all clear, I'm not sure, and he was exhausted and miserable and awful. And as soon as he was given the all clear on his cancer, the boss called him in and said, actually, your work isn't up to scratch. You haven't been meeting your deadlines. And he said, well, actually, I've been having chemotherapy. And his boss said, bye.
Oh my God.
So that's why that's why he's been trying to build this new app. And he bought the drones.
I'm just curious, what sort of background is he in? Or was he in?
He's a genius.
He's a genius. He is. He's a computer architect and a security expert, and I guess a senior developer. That just comes with the territory, right?
Slightly different fields, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the app he's been doing with Codex, but he won't use Lovable like Quantum and I. He says, no, that's not how he does it. He knows how to do actual real programming, and he's not going to use an AI assistant.
You don't know.
So yeah, he doesn't approve of
As somebody,
AI.
somebody who's I haven't done any development in years now, but somebody grew up with programming languages from mid-80s. I sort of, as you know, I am a bit questionable about so-called machine learning coding. Yeah.
Well, he says, having used Codex, he never wants to go back to coding because it takes all the grunt work out of it, But it's also very, very challenging because he has to learn how to prompt, which is a completely new, different set of skills, something that nobody can teach you because everything's so new. Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Now,
Anyway, so that's sort of the history.
That's a good one. That really is. And I know this might sound really, really weird, but actually, I was wondering, do you guys have an entranceway?
An entranceway?
Yeah.
To the property.
To the property, to the kiwi orchard or whatever.
We saw it straight at the beginning.
Yeah, but we did. I don't think the viewers did, though.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, let me take you down there now then. I'm not quite sure.
I know it sounds weird, but a lot of people love to see the entranceways to stuff like this. Like, you realize you're like in the Garden of Eden, right? Like I don't understand.
I know.
I don't understand why you're not eating kiwi right now while we're talking. Just being
because there's none on the vines, bro. Look,
I would.
You check the vines.
I'm telling you, dude. If it was me, if I was there, you guys would be so mad at me because I'd be eating all your kiwi.
So here's the thing, Roger. Mm-hmm. They pick them before they're ripe.
Oh, that's not cool.
So we don't get ripe kiwis to ever eat. These are picked and taken to the cold store because otherwise they don't travel to the other side of the world properly. So we very, very seldom eat our own fruit.
That is awesome. Well, not that.
Yeah?
Not that. Just what I'm seeing there, that just blows my mind.
Look, there's some right there.
Okay, this is too high for the pickers to reach.
There you go.
They got that thing they do where they can reach up and grab it.
Well, Bob Dubs can. She's not even able to reach it. Don't hurt yourself. don't hurt yourself.
You can take it.
So the pickers are paid per bucket that they pick.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't stop and wait around and mess around for high fruit.
Yeah.
If the fruit is,
Okay,
that's why pruning is so important. You've got to prune the whole thing so that the vines come down here. And the vines, you can see, are threaded across this top layer
That is so beautiful.
so that somebody can just walk through here. And this here, these little funny sticks, you see these little sticks here?
Mhm.
This is where the kiwi fruit were. So they pick
Ah.
them off, they just click, 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 click.
See, that's
And you leave these funny little
So they grow very similar, like apples and pears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples is another very big, very, very big crop, but not here in the North Island. That's in South Island. Yeah.
you're muted, Robert.
There. Have you ever?
No, he isn't.
Knowing,
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a way too. You can clip
they
them
got them.
without.
Well, there's a way too. You
on some
clip them
plants, they say you
without
gotta watch out,
because on some plants they say you got to watch out because you can cause damage to the plant when you remove the crops
Yes.
from it. You can split it, but if you take like a small scissors and cut the tops of them off without damaging the plant or the fruit, but you still get both done. And you take a 2 liter or a 2 liter soda, put it on a 2-foot pole,
Mhm.
and where you can slide that over and slide them down
Interesting.
because that's what they do here.
For picking what?
Like apples, pears,
Apples. Mm-hmm.
oranges as well. They
Awesome.
would sit there with the
Awesome.
things and just pop them right off, and it don't hurt damage the plant at all.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
explain-
good. Okay.
Continue our walk here. Let's not-
Okay. I
this
came
is-
down to the road. So
that-
town is that way, right?
Mhm. That is
And
beautiful.
then there, looking over there, I think you can see the volcano. Hold up, let me move a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
saw it earlier. Yeah.
There
So
we go.
we get a volcano
see the
in this
volcano
video
there?
too, man.
Just some,
Yes.
Mount Manganui.
Yes.
And that is Tauranga Harbour that we're seeing in the
Oh,
distance.
okay. I can, yeah, okay. I
So-
see it now.
See now
We're up in the hills.
see right here.
is that road usually this quiet? It's not a main road as such.
No. We're in a little back of beyond place.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our entranceway, and this here is the loadout area. And we're one of the only people in the neighborhood to have a loadout area. So people use ours during the harvest,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool, but it would be cooler if they would help for the upkeep of it, because as you can see, it really needs new surface,
Yeah,
right?
I was just thinking that you should really charge a nominal fee for that because again, maintenance and stuff.
Yes. Well, the guy across the road, that guy, Pete, he's a sweetheart. He comes and mows the lawn here and
Okay.
keeps this front looking good. So once every couple of weeks, he jumps on his ride-on and comes and gives us a haircut. Oh, look. See that hawk there? That's Carly. That hawk came. Do you see it?
Mm,
Uh,
that's it.
there. No. That hawk
yeah,
came after Carly's funeral.
Okay.
We've never had a hawk here. When I got back from Auckland, that hawk was here. So every time I see it, I say that it's Carly. But I actually know that it isn't. I know that it's a bird. But it just makes me happy to pretend that she's here in the form of a bird. Okay, so I showed you the entrance. Phew, you're making me walk up and down. What do you want me to show you next?
Give you your exercise for the day.
Whew. Yeah, for the month, bro.
You have done good. Thank you. That's actually pretty cool because I mean, that's all I'm saying is it's really weird with people who are into gardening and stuff like that. Like they really love to see the entranceways. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's really strange. So I figured I'd mention that now. When I guess the best way to do it is like how do you guys deal with like your compost and stuff? Because I know that's a big project, but how do you what kind of composting and stuff like that do you guys do for the ground?
We use God's method.
Just let it do it naturally.
I'm going to let it just breathe down. Yeah.
Whatever drops, they put in a lot of fertilizer. They put in a lot of fertilizer and they put a lot of sprays on. And actually, I think you can see here, these leaves, the way they've gone all brown.
Yeah.
And these are diseased. These are one of the things that they've actually sprayed 3 sprays on because with the huge amount of rain that we had this year, the plants got diseased. So they've sprayed for the disease. They've sprayed for mold. They've sprayed for something else. And then I think that they do another, like a liquid fertilizer where but they'll only do that in spring.
I imagine that kiwi's been such a soft fruit. They do rot quite easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is awesome. But, I mean, because like when you say God's method, that makes me think now about irrigation. Like, what do you guys do when it comes to irrigating all that?
New Zealand has so much water. We very, very, very seldom are without water. If there's a dry year, it's really bizarre and unusual. And then we can do some things, certain things. We can, to a limited extent, we can use the hose pipes. We just pull them onto the blocks here and just leave them running. Just turn the water on and just leave it running for a couple of days. And it's a borehole, so we don't have to pay for it.
Okay.
But if it's really, really dry, no, there's nothing we can do. There are some kiwi fruit orchards in some areas, very dry areas, that have irrigation. The problem with this one, when they put the irrigation in, they put it in here on the ground between the stem, and then some idiot mowed over it with the tractor and absolutely destroyed it. And it was more expensive to repair it than it was to pull it out. So it got pulled out. The best thing, if we do put irrigation in, the best thing would be to run the irrigation things along the wires here, the wires that support the main vine. So you can see there are posts, there are main posts, and then there are cross, the cross posts keeps the weight of the vine, the what they call the runners, but the main vine here, this is the main vine, is supported on this little piece of wire. And so if we were to put in irrigation, we would thread it through that wire and put in a drip system. But I don't know, the Callum just says the return on that would be negligible.
Yeah, especially when you say that you guys are always raining, the weather changes like
always raining. Always raining. It's amazing.
What about the rain barrels and all that you always see them on? You can always set something like that up too, to where when it does rain, you have a setup to where you capture the rainwater but then it helps to supply your garden with fresh water at
Yes.
times when, especially when it gets real hot and all that, and
Yeah.
to keep the water bill down. But you can do it like that.
So it very, very seldom gets hot.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 or 6 days a year go into the 30s.
I was wondering. I was just wondering, could you show us your bees?
Well, no, not really.
Oh, okay.
There is one hive here. I can't open it because it's the middle of winter and the bees will freeze to death.
Oh no, I wasn't saying open now. It's just getting an idea what's like how close are they to your plants and all that.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you, I've had a real major disaster here. The kiwi fruit's not the only stuff that's suffered from the weather. My whole apiary has died. So I have one hive remaining, and it's very weak. I don't know if it's going to get through the winter. Then there's another hive that's down in the avocados that I haven't checked on for a few weeks, so I don't know how it's doing. I can show you the one that's here, but like I say, I'm actually in quite a dismal situation at the moment.
How is it to repopulate bee colonies?
The problem is that we think that our hives have got American foul brood in them. And with that, the bacteria, disease, the everything gets all into the soil. And yeah, I know, look, Callum's closed this one up. It's died. No, this one's died too. So this was where they were. I don't know. Yeah, but just what a pity.
I was wondering about that because they were showing there's a beetle that climbs up into it and all that, evades the honey and destroys
I know
the
what
honey.
you mean. That's a American species.
Yeah.
Mondoids, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really impractical for you to, let's say, have a new colony because of the issue of.
I'll just have to move it, Mark. I'll just have to move it. I have to destroy the hives that I've got here that we think are infected. You have to dig a big hole in the ground, put all the hives into the hole, pour paraffin on them, and burn them.
Okay.
And then you have to burn your gloves and any equipment that you've used with them. And so it's actually a huge financial blow because you just basically you're starting again from zero with new equipment. So we haven't decided what to do yet.
Because on the thing they were showing and explaining, like if you have them in a shaded area, that beetle mainly goes into nice warm, damp areas, and they go into the hive. They do, and that's why
weevil.
The weevil. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm asking you.
Actually, yeah. So I was thinking of beetle, and I was thinking of a particular fly. Again, I think it's mainly just North America.
We have a few. The main problem that we have is lice. Lice, what are they called? Can't remember their name, but they're a tiny, tiny little thing that gets into the cell where the grub is before the bees wax cap it off and protect it. So as the grub is turning into a bee, there are lice in there and they eat the bee's wings off as they're forming. So you get something called deformed wing disease. Varroa mites, they're called. and they're a huge pest. So we have to treat for those twice a year. That's one of the bad things. Wax moth is terrible.
What is
Wax moth.
that? What is? Can you explain that to me? What is
Wax
that?
moth.
Yeah.
It's a white moth, and it climbs into the hive and it lays its eggs in the wax. And then when the baby moths hatch, they eat the wax. They eat the honeycombs. And so you get all this horrible powdery wax all over the place. And it just gets destroyed. Mice, of course, a huge problem. Because I mean, you can see this is wild land here. It's not all mown grassland.
Yeah.
It's hectic. So yeah, mice are a massive problem that climb in. And wasps. Wasps are terrible. They go in through the door and sting the bees to death.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. What kind are they the type for insect where they attack the insects? The wasps do, or are they just mainly for the bees?
Which insects?
There's like any kind of insects that like attacks your crop, like ants or any kind of other insects that's around. There's a wasp that mainly eats insects. They attack anything of insects, mosquitoes, other
Wasps?
yeah, and they attack other wasps as well too and eats them.
Yes. Our wasps have two main cycles, right? They have time where they eat protein and they're looking for protein, and then they have a time where they're looking for sugar. So there are times during the year that they will attack the bees to eat them. And then there are other times of the year that they will steal the honey.
Okay,
So they're an all out and out bad thing. I don't think that they're very helpful with the pests that we have here.
okay, so they're not the ones that I thought they were. And another, are they from ground, or they make up a big old like a big old bomb thing, big old book, like
Yes.
a nest, like out of leaves. They break up the leaves.
Yes.
And, okay,
we have about 4 different species. And some of them make those paper nests that, those ones aren't actually very dangerous to the bees. Those are called German wasps, I think.
Okay.
Or
But they're the
paper
ones
wasps.
they're the ones I'm thinking that does the thing of they eat other insects. They do, and like if you can set it up to where stick them in some kind of warm container for like you were saying about the cold spell, but keep them going. And like you move your bees to another area far away from one another, to where the walls that them are sitting with inside of your farming, where anything that goes up into it will get hit by the wasps, the ones that eat insects. Any kind of insects comes up, it will get hit by them. It's another way of insect. It would be insect repellent without having to add that much insect repellent to it.
Yeah.
And I found out too that if you you have to look it up on the ingredients of different types of pesticides. There are certain types of chemicals that will only they found out here in the U.S. that certain type of chemicals will only hit bees, honeybees, and that affects them. Like just this year, last year we lost over 1 billion bees. We did.
Yeah.
The largest amounts that the U.S. has ever lost.
Yeah.
And that's why I was asking about them, because if you have them two set up.
You're referring to the allegations around what's the thing, Roundup. Come on board, who runs Roundup? But There were
That was one of them, but we actually have had a few natural things that happen natural here in the United States besides Roundup. But yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do want to mention though, because Robert started talking about the hornets and everything, and wildlife in general. Like when it comes to your guys' property, do you have to deal with certain wildlife that likes to come in and try to cause problems or anything of that nature?
There were no natural mammals in New Zealand before colonization, I believe. So it was a bird land. And things have been introduced. Our main problem is possums. The possums will come and they'll eat the avocados, but they're not so keen on the kiwi fruit, although they will take them. But the birds, the parrots and the lorikeets and the wax eyes, those are a disaster in the crops. Feral cats are a big problem. People abandon their cats here in the rural areas. And so then we have kittens growing up wild, and they get all sorts of terrible things like cat rabies and that stuff. But sometimes we have deer. We have bunnies. Bunnies are a disaster.
Yeah,
because
I was just
holes.
thinking rabbits. Yeah, I was just thinking both Australia and New Zealand are well known for rabbit infestations. Yeah.
Yes. Callan's got a tutu, but you have to go and sit real quiet and wait for them to come out. And like there's so many things to do. Sitting for an hour and waiting for bunnies is not high on the list. But they are a disaster because they get in amongst the roots and they burrow, and then people who are walking through the orchard to do stuff, fall into the holes, twist your ankle, because you're busy. You're looking up, you're looking at the vines, you're doing stuff. You're not looking where your feet are going.
Well, I can't think of. I forget the name of the plant, the little guy, but he's real small, but he's the dangerous little sucker he is. I mean, he takes on the rabbits and wins, snakes, rats, and all. This little thing, he's
Talking
so
about ferrets. Ferrets.
Okay.
Ferret or mongoose?
Mongoose, maybe, yeah. Yeah, mongoose.
Yeah, he's real thin and round, and he's a little long little thing, but he's quick as all get out. I mean,
Weasels, maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I just know he's small, but he's fast, and he took.
Well, when we were younger, see, Robert's a fan of Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Ricky Tikki Tavi is one of the best stories ever. Yes.
I've seen this one little thing take a full-size chicken down and put it in its nest. It shoved the whole bird up in the hole in the ground. Okay. And he take on some good-sized animals, and even a dog won't mess with it. Okay.
We hardly have any mammals here in New Zealand. We have some stoats, we have some rats, but the government poisons everywhere with a poison called 1080. And they put this terrible, terrible, terrible poison out, and it destroys all the wildlife in that area. But then when the birds regenerate, they regenerate faster because now there's no stoats and rats. But it's a very big, very serious, controversial poisoning program because we're only one of 2 countries in the world that uses this particular poison. And it's been shown, apparently, to break down naturally, but only in water. Okay. So we've had incidents of deer being poisoned and people's dogs, and it's very controversial and it's a very difficult subject amongst the Kiwi.
You said 2 countries. What's the other country?
Don't know. Don't know. I used to know, but it's gone out of my mind. I can't remember.
Well, this one fruit, it's shaped like a ball, but it's got spikes. It's when it was at my aunt's house. This is stuff that, like, as long as your pets don't eat it, but you can leave it out, and like squirrels, rats, mice, cockroaches, and all that, when it eats this stuff, it kills it. It does. But it grows in your yard, on a tree, it does. But it's big. But it's good. It's big enough that it takes on, like, when like a deer comes up and eats it, it will kill even a deer. This fruit does. It looks like an apple, but you don't want to bite into it. It will literally kill you.
Poisonous. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's natural, but it does it.
Yeah, you're talking about sodium fluorescite. Or fluorescate.
What, 1080?
Yeah.
Yes.
Also known by its trade name, compound 1080.
Yes. Do you have the other country there that uses it?
I'm just looking. Species in Western Australia. New Zealand. Looks like actually a couple. Australia under the, it might not be called 1080 because 1080 is a specific brand name.
Right.
New Zealand and United States and other countries.
Okay, I lied. I'm sorry.
1080 is also used in Mexico, Japan, Korea, and Israel.
Okay, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. Misinformation.
Well, I'm just reading from Wikipedia, so it might not be absolutely accurate, but
But you know what you could
it might not be
Yeah.
called 1080 because again, that's a specific brand name.
We know the whole thing about Wikipedia and stuff, but now this is actually the good time because it's 6:41 my time, and what I wanted to do is leave open 10 minutes for everybody. I know Robert's been talking a lot, and so is Mark, but these are actually something that I want to kind of include you guys in with the questions I want to ask because, you know, Bob Dub has been walking around. She's showing us her property and everything. So I wanted to ask you guys questions to get your take on specific questions. Okay.
Okay.
Now with the video that we watch or that we're watching right now with the walk around she's doing, what surprises you guys the most about it? Or what sticks out to you that's kind of like a surprise to you?
I was a bit surprised about the size of the operation. I wasn't expecting it to be. How many acres did you say? You mentioned it a couple weeks ago.
We have 4.5 hectares. So this is one block that I'm showing you that you've seen here. And we have about 30, I think, of these. So just this one that I've been showing you is I'm just here because it's close to the Wi-Fi. But if I was to take you down the back, you would see that there's a whole big field of these. So 4.5 hectares.
Which would be about 11 acres or 45,000 square meters.
Right. Yes.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. You know them bees I was telling you about, that one that they're meat eaters and all that? Okay. Okay. How does your country?
Hold up, Robert. Hold up. My question was for you: is what out of all of this that you've seen has surprised you?
Oh, okay. Well, what really surprises me is that, well, like you got that shade there on the plants and all that, And for all the what is the plant's pH level for the soil? Because like I mean to keep it going and all that, 'cause they have a thing about so many years you got to replace the plant. I was wondering about that.
What is you, Robert? Robert,
Huh?
what's the problem?
I was wondering, when how long you said that they were going for 18 years? Do they have a thing about the time that you got to replant them? You know, replant the plant. You know, after so many years. Or
Okay,
like
sorry,
that,
I'll go back.
and like the pH level of the plant.
Oh, you mean more turn the earth? Turn
Yeah.
the earth. Yeah.
Are you able to hear us, Bob Dub? I think she's having some.
I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay.
I went too far.
That's what
I'm going back.
That's what I was kind of wondering because it started sounding
Sorry,
like it
I
was
didn't
breaking up.
notice.
Hey, it's their
Yeah.
fault. It's not yours. Always blame Mark and Robert and me. You're the one showing us like the coolest stuff on the face of the planet right now, dude. It's like I love this. So
It's very awesome.
yeah. Now I've got more questions, Robert. And this is the questions I want to ask you and Mark because Bob Dubs already said what she needs to say. If she wants to answer, she can. But this is the second one, okay? Now, when it comes to what you've seen here, how different is New Zealand from where you live?
In what sense?
Comparing what you've seen on this video to how it is where you live, how different is it?
Well, obviously, we haven't got any sort of volcanoes in the UK. I don't know. Again, we only looking at one very small area of New Zealand there. No, it's I probably could find go to somewhere like Kent and find wine vineyards very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Robert was wanting to talk, but he accidentally kept himself muted out. You got to unmute, Robert.
Well, like that area there.
You're still muted.
With insects and fire
Can't hear anything, guys.
Robert, you're still muted. And
Okay. Sorry about that.
No. I mean, I just asked you a question. I know what you were getting ready. Let's get rid of all that.
Okay.
What's different from what you've seen here, from where you live right now?
From here? Well, like she said, it's pretty good. Just that, like when if there's a small person can, what you call it, fit under there to break up the soil, keep it nice. Because
what's different?
No,
what's different? Like what size of a plant?
No, what is different between what you're seeing here and the way it is where you live?
Okay. Well, quite a bit. I mean, you just it'd be real hard because of the climates for one. Two, we would have problems like you said about the insects, and because like here we have them groundhogs that tears up all that up. But beyond that, and we have wide varieties of different things for pollination. We have them hummingbirds as well, and like the bees and that would even be even more here. It would help out with growing them plants like that, because the insects would be less, and so would the other wildlife as well, because they would have all that to worry about if you set up a nest.
Okay, so now it's my turn, because Robert is just a beast. I swear, he is such a beast. Now, the thing that did stick out to me, like what Robert mentioned, was like you guys have the possums. We do have possums, and
Yes.
but the thing that with us is the difference is like the groundhogs, and a lot of people are trying to say don't worry about groundhogs because they don't want to get into your gardens or anything. But that's the reason why I actually had to stop, was because it was either I had to make a choice of either killing groundhogs or stop gardening. You know what I mean? And I would rather just not garden than to start getting crazy and killing animals because they were invading my yard, you know. But that's one issue. And then the whole thing about the insects, I'm amazed with the fact that you guys don't have very many insects and stuff in New Zealand. That's a big difference there for us. And like, do you have fireflies at least?
Fireflies, we have lots and lots and lots of fireflies, but they're all in the caves. They're up more in the mountains and in the fjords. So not really around here so much. We do have stink bugs. Stink bugs are really bad. They're the ones that bring the mossy soot, the sooty mold.
Mm-hmm.
So
now,
hey, what?
Robert wanted to know, what about bats?
Bats.
Yeah, like bats.
Here on the orchard? No. But I guess in the caves, yep, there would be some bats. I don't know, actually. Mark, you're going to need to look that up for me.
I'm not sure. I know UK bat are generally protected species.
Yes.
But they use them for insect population.
Robert mentioned, he said that they use them for insect population, but you know, I mean, with here maybe that would work and everything, but like I don't know for sure if that would apply when it comes to the New Zealand. I would even think like I think the only thing that looks similar to me would be like Ireland. To be
There's
honest.
two, possibly three species of bats in New Zealand. Got the long-tailed bats, lesser short-tailed bats, and possibly, but the greatest short-tailed bats. But that has not been seen in New Zealand since 1967. So it could be.
Oh, wow. So maybe not. Huh. Interesting. No, not around here at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a bat since I've been to New Zealand.
Just try to look at sort of habitat.
Okay, so this one is a tough one. This is a tough question for Mark and Robert.
Okay.
So when it comes to everything that you've seen here, what would you love to try when it comes to doing stuff like this? What's one thing that you would actually be interested in trying if you were doing something like this?
Personally, I'm not really a gardening outdoors sort of person, to be fair. If I have been, I will just leave that to the professionals, leave it to Bob.
Now, Bob Dub did mention the fact that Colin is wanting to set up drones and stuff and do things like that. Now, that's actually pretty technical. That's. I mean, that caught my attention. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
So the reason for that is that the biggest loss of money in the industry is in logistics.
Mm.
The sending an extra truck, sending extra bins, sending extra workers to a place, and then you have to take them all away, and you've wasted the petrol, you've wasted the time. Yep. So what Callum's trying to do is provide an accurate. Oh, look, we've had birds walking around. I don't know if you can see them. Hold up. Can you see the bird footprints?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm showing you the footprints.
Yeah, I can see
I
them.
can
Yeah,
just
Those
see
are
bird.
big. How big
So
are
what
they?
he's trying to do is get it so that an orchardist is able to predict how big his crop is going to be. So he's doing a fruit counting app, but he's found that because the fruit hangs down under the vine, it's very difficult to see. You can take pictures of the flowers before the leaves cover them and try and count the flowers, but it's very difficult to see where the fruit is. So what he's segued into is doing a survey of the vines themselves, so the farmer can see if they cover his canopy completely, or
Yeah.
So
Have you collated data on previous years? Have you got sort of numbers on yields for previous years?
for us,
Yeah.
we usually get around about 40,000 trays
Okay.
from our orchard on a normal year, on a sort of
Because I'm
break-even
just
year.
thinking you could just make an average and then elaborate on that as a rough estimate.
Yes, Callum is like you, Mark. He's a computer guy who wants specifics on everything. So rough estimates is what he's been working on all his life, and he hates it. And that's why he's trying to get the technology to work for him. And
You need to introduce Mark Edworthy to Colin. To be honest, I think Mark would probably be like Colin's dream come true. They would like hit it off automatically. To be
Yes.
honest,
yes,
I
if I
honestly
could
do.
ever get Callum to ever speak to anybody, Roger, since the first days of doing this, I've been saying, come and speak to this guy. Come and tell this guy about your app. Come and do this. Yes, sometime. I'm very busy. So
I tell you what,
he's not very chatty.
you explain Mark Edworthy to him, and I guarantee you he would freaking love Mark Edworthy, dude. Just from
They would get along so well. I know they would. I know they would.
So before, because we're coming to the end of the hour, before we end this out, I want to kind of give everybody a fill in on what we're going to do next week. Now, the thing of it is we haven't really been able to start talking about like moon phases and stuff like that, and planting recommendations and harvests and stuff. So later on, I want to go back through all that and start doing it. And then I'd also like to like talk about native flowers. And you know, like birds and butterflies and bumblebees and fireflies and mushrooms and cool stuff like that, you know.
Ooh.
So, but
We've got
I'm gonna have to do some serious research.
well, you see, you're like in Devon, okay, and I've never been to Devon, but from what I've seen there, if you're walking down the street, I'm pretty sure you've seen at least 5 gardens. Trust me. Like your region of England is like what England is. Everybody sees. If you want to call it a stereotype, you can go ahead and call it that, because that's what it is.
The old green and pleasant land.
Yes.
Concept. Yeah.
Yes, that's Devon, and I know that's Devon because I've seen pictures. Just saying.
Yeah.
But before we go, I do want to ask each of you guys if there's to share one thing that you'll be working on in the next week before the next episode. So what about you, Bob Dub? Since you're the one doing the walk around, what's your plans for next week? one thing that you're planning on doing.
Outdoors, Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Outdoors thing.
Anything.
Because what I'm actually planning on doing is making videos.
Yeah, there you
That's my happy place. Here we go.
go. Okay. How about you, Mark? What's your plans?
I don't try to make. I try to take each day as it comes. To be fair,
Just one thing.
you did earlier. I did accept your invite on that Lovable project. So
Okay.
I might have looked
Oh, you did?
at that.
Oh, Rogers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I did see something about you and a new server or something. Earlier.
Yep.
But yeah, well, yeah. See how things go. See how
Okay.
things go.
Robert, it's your turn. What are you planning on doing? One thing
One thing.
that you're planning on doing in
I am. Well, thinking of different things that you can use for plants, keep up with technology of farming and all that. There's drones and ways of insect repellent. They got things where it locates mosquitoes and hits it with the lasers. Laser guiding.
So you're going to do more. You're going to do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
A lot of it.
I said, I just said one thing. I just said one thing, wild man.
Okay.
Hold on now, because we're coming to the end of the hour. Now, before we go, there is one thing that I want to do. I want to put. I want to. Well, let's help call them out. If anybody wants to order any kind of fruits and stuff from him, does he have like a professional company address where they can contact him, Bob Dub, and get in touch with him to maybe get orders of kiwi and stuff like that from him?
Roger, the thing is that the way the laws are in New Zealand, it's almost impossible to be able to afford the licenses to pack and sell your own fruit. And it's almost impossible to be able to run something as big as this as an organic thing. One of the things that broke my heart when I came here was that nothing is done organically. Everything is about poisons and fertilizers and commercial farming. This whole thing that you're seeing here, this whole 4.5 hectares, is all leased to a pack house. And we just get a portion of the profit. So the short answer is, unfortunately and very sadly, no. All of this is commercial.
You're not a distributor per se.
No, don't have a license. Need a huge, big license, a few $1,000s worth of license for me to be able to pick fruit off a plant and put it in a box and post it.
So since Column does get a percentage of it, would you want to share what the pack house's name is so that people can
the name of the pack house is Hume, Hume.
Okay,
Hume.
Okay.
I think it's a family business.
I presume that they would have supermarket contracts already if they're a very large organisation.
Okay, so
the organisation that handles all the marketing of all the fruit in New Zealand is called Zespri. If you want to look it up, it's a very, very interesting cooperative.
Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and give our socials so that people know how to get in touch with us. So we'll start with you, Bob Dub, since you are the star of the show today. How can people get in touch with you?
I am on Minds.com as Bob Dub, and I have 2 video channels on YouTube. One is called Bob Dub, and the other is called Sloppy Joe Videos. All one word. You can also find me on Mint.me if you want to. Not there, but but I've forgotten.
That's perfectly fine. So
Sorry.
that's perfectly fine. You're walking a little too far away too. You're on there, so turn around and go back towards your antenna.
Okay. I'm carrying the antenna with me.
Oh, you got it. Cool.
One goes mine by.
Okay, so with that being said, let's go to Mark Edworthy. Mark Edworthy.
Okay. Yeah, just simply on minds.com under the username Medworthy.
Okay, so with me, you can find me at Roger _ Hanson at minds.com, as well as on as well as our group on no, we don't have a group on Minds, do we, for Earth? But
no.
But anyhow, you can find me also on X, Roger Hanson at ROGLOL1973. If you want to talk to the wild man Robert Hanson, you can find him at those locations as well. I'm also on Element Matrix at the Quantum Gathering, Infinite Imaginarium, and Roger's Hangout. So you can find us there as well. If you like this show, please like, subscribe, share, make comments, give feedback in the comment section. It's cool to talk in the chat section, but the comment section is very important. It helps the platform. It helps the platform with algorithms. It shows that this is an active channel. So leave a comment down in the comment section so that we can get some cool comments and answer back. We're tired of talking to bots. So thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys later. All right, so I'm gonna leave this on. I'm gonna put a 30-minute song drop in until we start the Quantum Gathering, and the recording is done. We've got that all set up. So next we'll be going into the Quantum Gathering and everything. Thank you very much, Bob Dub. That was really that was cool. And I had to
Thank you, Roger.
I had to tame Robert the Beast down. He was excited. He wanted to.
Yes.
Well, your boyfriend, your husband, was talking about them drones. Okay, there's several different types of drones. They are one that can fly under the thing, the toe of all that, and look and see about insects and all that. Plus, it can spray and have you can set up like a little two arms where a little electric thing, and any mosquitoes that fly in between get zapped. Because they got them drones where they recharge, but they go back up in the air, and they locate big areas of mosquitoes and all that, and go through them.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if drones would be appropriate for something that size. I would be tempted to stick cameras off.
Well, you can do both, but it's a wide variety of insect repellent.
So the thing is, Robert, that in order to operate a drone of that size in New Zealand, you have to have an aviation license.
No, because there's some that's automated.
You still need legal requirements.
But as long as they have to go up.
He drifts in through the heavy door. Shadows stretching across the floor, a familiar ghost with a hungry soul, taking pieces to make him whole. No words required when he arrives, just the pulse of those restless lives, infamous moving in the dim light, the routine of a long cold night. He is always around when the wind blows in, sucking the spirit right off of the skin. I like the way he lingers near, the only presence I hold dear. When infamous calls by to stay, the rest of the world just fades away. Yes, he is always around to bring the dark relief of everything. Constant as a winter rain, feeding on the joy and pain. He knows the route, he knows the part, the steady beating of a hollow heart. Never leaves a trace behind, just the solace I can find. Leaning back in the velvet chair, the scent of him is in the air. He doesn't ask and I don't tell, a secret toll of this private spell. I knock upon the midnight glass, watching all the hours pass. The silence is a heavy weight until he opens up the gate. He is always around when the wind blows in, sucking the spirit right off of the skin. I like the way he lingers near, the only presence I hold dear. When infamous comes by to stay, the rest of the world just fades away. Yes, he is always around to bring the dark relief of everything. control motion, iron law. Push the world without the flaw. Spin the myth, repeat the sign. All returns and measure time. Heaven wheels, the ages grind. Serpent circle, tail to mine. What we build is what we are. Rolling fate from star to star. No beginning, no collapse. Only cycles round and round creations. Oh, friction fades, momentum grows. Carry more with lesser force. Set the world upon its course. Spin the myth, repeat the sign. All returns again in I can feel you in my head, like a wild misfired instead. I don't sleep, I don't rest. It's just a pulse inside my chest. I will break into the sound. Pull the silence underground. I will break. I'm so numb, overloaded where I live. Let me out of this tight and grip counterfeit. I'm so numb, I'm so numb, so numb. Overstayed inside my skin. Let me out again. Twisted nerve, paper thin. I'm so numb, I'm so numb. If you want it, take it all. Watch me stumble, watch me fall. Shut it down, shut it off. Every signal cutting off. You don't hear me anyway. Just another thing you play. All repaid, repaid. We earn everything, every breath, every string. I can't pull you out of me. I can't let it fucking be. I'm so numb, overloaded where I live. Let me out of this tight and grip counterfeit. I'm so numb, I'm so numb, so numb. Overstayed inside my skin. Let me out again. Twisted nerve, paper thin. I'm so numb, I'm so numb. Hear it, I'm pushing it. Feel it under your skin. Hear it, I'm pushing it. Don't pretend it's not there. You wear it like a second face. You feed it just to numb the taste. I can't hold it back again. Cut me loose, cut me clean. There's nothing left in between. Cut me loose, cut me free. Or bury what's left of me. I'm so numb, overloaded where I live. Let me out of this tight and grip counterfeit. I'm so numb, I'm so numb, so numb. Break it open from within. Let me out again. shadows stretching across the floor. A familiar ghost with a hungry soul, taking pieces to make him whole. No words required when he arrives, just the pulse of those restless lives. Infamous moving in the dim light, the routine of a long cold night. He is always around when the wind blows in, sucking the spirit right off of the skin. I like the way he lingers near, the only presence I hold dear. When infamous calls by to stay, the rest of the world just fades away. Yes, he is always around to bring the dark relief of everything. Constant as a winter rain, feeding on the joy and pain. He knows the route, he knows the path, the steady beating of a hollow heart. Never leaves a trace behind, just a solace I can find. Leaning back in the velvet chair, the scent of him is in the air. He doesn't ask and I don't tell, a secret told of this private spell. Stand and knock upon the midnight glass, watching all the hours pass. The silence is a heavy weight until he opens up the gate. He is always around when the wind blows in, sucking the spirit right off of the skin. I like the way he lingers near, the only presence I hold dear. When infamous comes by to stay, the rest of the world just fades away.
Aren't able to do what gardeners are able to do. When you're gardening and you're in a small place, you're able to choose your own methods. But the way it is here, we have to go with what the big guys with all the machinery do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So we're very careful with the soil and what we do to it.
Okay, that's okay. Because I did not. I've seen other places that has kiwi plants. They roll till not right there, not around the plant, but around on the edge of it to keep the weeds and all that from building up. Plus, to keep the insects from getting too heavy up in there. They still get heavy, but not as heavy as the full thing.
You know, I would bet that New Zealand has some of the most advanced regulations and laws concerning agricultural safety, environmental safety, and I'm sure that the orchard there, everything is followed carefully. So you can't say better than that, you know, is because as Bob points out, there's something application. You simply need certain things in certain applications. When you're talking about an entire tree's root system, you don't have much choice. Although it would be cool to, like, you know, wave a wand and have 100 little gnomes that could go down with tiny little shovels and, you know, paintbrushes and stuff. You just have to use what's available.
I want geese. Since we moved here in 2018, I've been having an ongoing battle with Callum about geese. I say, like, if we have geese, they will eat all the bugs, they will eat everything. We won't ever have a problem. We will have geese.
Ooh.
Anyway, it's not, because then we'll have geese poo. See?
Oh,
You already have cat poo. I mean, what's bees food?
Not allowed. And when they come and spray the plants, some of the sprays are poisonous when they're active. So for 2 or 3 days, the plants are poisonous, and then
You didn't keep them in a barn and feed them for 3 days. Yeah.
So we would have to bring all the things. People have that with their sheep. They keep sheep under their vines instead of mowing the vines down. And
Right.
then when it comes to spray time, there's always big issues. Move your sheep. You're not allowed to have sheep here. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So New Zealand is very, very highly regulated. It's a very socialist, very, very strongly socialist
Yeah.
country. Not just with a few social programs, but
Yeah.
So the regulation and the communal consent, I think that's the main thing about socialism, is that everybody needs to agree on things. And so once they get some tentative agreement between farmers, nobody wants to rock the boat and bring up anything new, because then you're going to have to start the negotiations all over again, and somebody will be new in the area and won't know the history, and his wife will stand up and start ranting about how she has to move her sheep, and then all the men are like, oh, not another one of these. So it's a very interesting way that the orchardists interact in these cooperative groups to try and pull this off. And the reason is that they don't want big corporations taking over. They want the little guy to have as much of a look in as the big guy.
I was just thinking on the point of corporate lobbying. I know Australia has got a big problem with corporate lobbying, but I'm not sure about New Zealand.
I think they call it pork barreling.
Okay.
Yeah. There's somebody here, there's a well-known politician here who's involved with horse racing, or was involved with horse racing, and there are issues, Mark. I try not to pay attention to it because it's all so terribly uncivilized.
But it does raise the issue of lack of competition, and there's some fair markets.
Well, if you have these collectives too, they're still operating within the regulatory system, which, from the way I understand it and from what I've heard from you, is excessively centralized, extensively micromanaging kind of things. Just very, very little room for, and some of it just seems so silly, or just designed to keep you, or like thousands and thousands of dollars simply so you could like have a farm stand. I mean, here you just put vegetables out. You grow them in your garden, and just put out a little stand. Like just pass by somewhere $83.
Of history, there are a lot of very good things about the New Zealanders. I mean, for 5 million people to agree to pay 33% tax off their earnings, so that the most disadvantaged of the community can be looked after by the people's tax money. That's an amazing group of people to do that. I mean, I would argue that because it's so small, they've got a chance of doing it. But it's sort of like a social experiment almost.
Yeah, but as we've seen with the NHS in the UK, you put in a lot of money, but then it becomes a top-down, very sort of bureaucratic, heavy sort of thing.
That's
the money pulls towards the top.
You see, what we've done as a society, for why did we do this, but as a global society, how we've decided to deal with our psychopaths is by putting them in control of the taxpayers' money. It's one of the most bizarre things. So everywhere that you have taxpayers' money, you have a very large component of people who want to control other people with power and coercion. And
sounds exactly
which is
like
not only
It's interesting because it's interesting you said that about the psychopaths, because I was thinking about that, and there was a time in human history when suddenly it was like probably during the Roman Republic. Suddenly you had people with access to insane amounts of money, like Crassus, or the guys they would send out to the eastern provinces as quote unquote governor of Asia, which means the guy that basically looted it. And Mark Antony was obscenely rich. No one had ever had this. I mean, let's think about what is money. It's basically economic power, and political power for that matter. So you had like vast amounts, excessive amounts concentrated in the hands of like single individuals, who were part of really a cutthroat game of politics at that time. It's little wonder that all they could think to do with it is just, get a really big knife, to cut even more throats. But some of the psychopathy, is that how you put it? Some of the psychopathic behavior might have been simply, magnifying a what was already kind of a trend in a politician's makeup that might very well have been kind of overlooked by mainstream historians if they didn't have access to be able to do it like citywide.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I've got to go and do stuff. Sorry.
You said, yeah.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been.
Make sure that I get things done in time because there's so many. Anyway, sorry.
Well, Satori said he was going to stop in, and my cousin Lynette might stop back. I think she did pretty well last time reading. And heaven knows we could use some more voice actors. And she enjoyed herself. I think she did good.
Cool. Yeah, I did see you mention Lynn the other day. Somewhere. I thought you were suggesting that she might join us today.
Yes. She texted me that she planned on it, but I haven't heard from her today. And sorry, I'm texting the person that was calling me.
I can't find the message. So many messages there.
I'm in the middle of a live stream. I mean, it's not an overly dynamic live stream at this very moment, and granted, and it's he's upset about something that's going on, band related.
Okay.
I don't look forward to coping with. Oh my goodness!
I'm
yeah,
curious.
so,
Sorry, I'm curious. Did you get your results back from your eye issue?
oh well, I went and I saw the guy, and he examined me, and they took some of these images, and they looked inside, and he asked about my symptoms, and he says it's very likely that it's quote unquote benign. So, which is because this does happen apparently to older people. My vision is a little fuzzier on that side, but on the other hand, I need new glasses in any event, and it's not darker. I do have more floaters there, but I don't have, apparently when it's really bad, you see millions of them. Excuse me, which I don't have. That's the sign of a torn cornea. So, but I am going back on the 13th, which is Monday I have off. And he's going to take a look at them again. And I'm going to get a new set of eyeglasses as well. And I'll talk about symptoms I've had since then. I've had a few more flashes, and but it doesn't hurt. And looking back and forth, it's not any dimmer. I haven't lost any peripheral vision. It's not darker on that side. They said if it looks like a curtain is being drawn over your eye, or if you lose peripheral vision, that's a sign of a torn retina. So that would have required surgery of some sort, but I haven't had any symptoms like that. Haven't had any pain or anything. So he says he was pretty sure it was benign, and apparently it is 80% of the time when it happens. So I got pretty good odds. I mean, I wouldn't play Russian roulette at those odds, but they're still pretty good odds. Yeah, comrade, 80% chance of living. Oh wow, that's really good.
That's good odds. That's fairly good odds.
What's the prize? Why you live? Like, okay.
Well, it depends on 80% in a few months or a year. That's the kicker there on that too.
Well, there you go. There you go. Time as well as space.
Yeah.
People forget about the time aspect of things. And that's interesting because a lot of the Eastern teachings are supposedly concerned with here and now, just be here in the now, here in the present moment. There's only now, and that's certainly a component of Buddhism and Taoism and different teachings. But Buddha also talks about having a body in time, because the reason why it's very, very important to pay attention to now is because now is when you're making the future.
Which one is it for the now? They talk about like your soul. You got like two souls. Well, I was wondering about that. They mentioned that about. Well,
No,
I've heard.
The Egyptians said you had 7 souls.
Oh, okay. Well, between all the different factions that comes up with this information and all that. Well, how does other best way? I don't know how to say it correctly, but how does other religions goes about that, about other about 7 or 2 souls,
about having more than one soul.
Yeah.
I think most religions don't think that that's true. I think a lot, and to tell you the truth, it might not be true. I mean, people have weird ideas. It might be metaphorical. It could be that they say this as a way of telling a story about something that you couldn't understand directly. So it could be when they tell a story that you have 7 souls that leave your body after death and go in separate directions. Maybe they're talking about seven levels of your mind. Maybe they're talking about, and they talk about the chakras, the crown, the throat, the heart, the belly, the loins, the fundament, basically there's part of you that just wants to breathe and be comfortable and rest and wake. The thing that gets your heart beating, that's an important part of you that beats your heart. There's that part of your mind, and it makes your lungs work. And then there's a part of your mind that wants to eat. And then there's a part of your mind that wants to eat good food that you cook just right. Starts thinking and wants to share that food with a friend, and so forth and so on, until you get to there's a part of you that is maybe you're sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop meditating. But so maybe it's a metaphor for that. Or maybe we do have 7 souls, and the Egyptians were the only ones who knew what they were talking about, and everybody else has been wrong. That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
Because
I was just thinking the 1982 Jim Henderson film, Dark Crystal, which sells a sort of fantasy. We've all seen it, I presume. Fantasy sort of story about one creature becoming, two creatures that are actually the same being.
Oh, right. Yeah. I vaguely remember. I saw that so long ago. I remember liking it, but I don't remember the details about it. And I have heard. I don't really know much about it, but there are some Mahayana Buddhist heretical kind of weird gobbledygook ideas about a Buddhist soul being split up. So it's like somebody has like one third of a reincarnation of an arhat or something. I don't know much about that Mahayana drivel, to tell you the truth. Mere heretics that need to be we don't. I'm sure they're very sincere in their way, but it's very silly. But anyway, there are traditions of multiple souls. Bob would like to participate. Yes, Bob, please participate.
Guys, my participation is to say goodbye.
Okay.
Sorry.
Goodbye, Bob. Thank you for hanging out this long.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you. Sorry I had to go. But yeah, and see you soon. See you soon. Hope you have a brilliant show. Please give Satori my love.
I will. We all will.
Thanks.
Take care,
Soon.
my friend.
Thank
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Thanks. You too.
And Bob Dub has left the meeting.
Indeed.
The whole show goes to crap now. Bob
Yeah.
Dylan's gone.
Have some faith.
Let's just talk about things like the gas mileage on my car. Well, I got it up to 34.6 miles to the gallon today. Last week it was 35.2. Well, it was.
Well, I usually don't like to talk, but this we since you mentioned gnomes, man, we got this cool idea that we brainstormed last Tuesday when you came on after you did the reading with us, and we came up with like this really cool idea.
Uh-huh.
And you remember with Robert the Hound from Hell?
Yes.
Now, we came up with a couple of cool ideas, and the one that I had was really, I think would be interesting. And it involves your story with the pirate stories.
Right.
And your cat.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know how Mark played Death, right?
Right.
And he put the leash on the Hound from Hell and everything, and he walked around with him. Well, I'm thinking we continue that by having it to where you, as a pirate, has to tell bedtime stories to your cat, okay? And your cat's really weird because it wants like scary stories to sleep at too. So
Right.
you tell him these stories where Mark as Death takes the Hound from Hell to his distant relative cousin Dell, who's a redneck, and he lives in the swamps of hell, which is 5 miles from hell. And he has him he has him dog set him. Okay. Now Dell agrees to it, but the only way he'll agree to it is if he gets season tickets to the NASCAR races. And the first episode is him trying to go to a NASCAR race, and the Hound from Hell breaking loose from the chain.
Uh-oh.
And chaos pursues.
Chaos is the dog catcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have NASCAR racing in hell?
Dale, no, he actually goes to like an actual NASCAR race. Dale does, and the Hound from Hell follows him. And the cool part is there's a little gnome that's in the front of his shack in the swamps, and it's an actual character. Now he's called Gus.
A living gnome in his garden.
He's Gus, and he stands by the entrance to his hillbilly shack. And Gus is just complete redneck hillbilly, 100%. He has like a hillbilly shack and all that stuff.
I'm curious.
And I'd be
When you
willing to
come up-
play Dell.
When you come up with these stories, what sort of drugs are you taking? And can I have some?
I think it's what's left over from whenever I quit. Just it never went away. Well, some of this was Robert's idea too.
Ah.
Actually, most of it was because Robert's probably the biggest redneck out of all of us.
No.
But I mean, it was pretty interesting whenever we did that. We have a couple of other ideas too, but I think for me, I think that's the best out of it. It's up to you if you want to do it or not.
Well, it sounds interesting. Give it a try. Take a look at the script. Send the script to my agent. I'll have my reader look at it and send me a synopsis and have your girl call my girl and
Sounds
we'll
like,
set up a lunch date. Yeah.
sounds like a plan. Oh, Bob Dub's back. She heard us talking. She knows what we're talking about. I guarantee you.
All right. Are we live streaming now?
Oh, we've been live streaming.
Oh,
Right.
my.
Mhm.
Hello, Bob. You returned.
Think she has issues with her audio.
Oh, Roger, she's talking to you.
She said, "Can I listen to this on the stream?"
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. She said she's gonna listen to it on the stream, and she can do that while she's working. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
So Bob is listening.
And
All
so
right.
we
Back to that
NASCAR
high
come.
intellectual level that we only briefly descended from.
Yeah, but the hillbilly place, it has the swamp, and the swamp has gas that it blows out fireballs from it, and the Hound of Hell likes to chase him down, play catch with the fireballs,
Uh-huh.
and the Hound of Hell has a special tail, spiky tail, that when he hits you with it, you stick to him.
Ouch. Oh, she wants to know where the live stream is that she could watch or listen to.
oh, I'll post a link in the chat for her. Sorry about that, Bob Dub. I didn't realize I didn't realize that's what you wanted. I'll do that right now. Give me a second.
People still have fireworks. Still shooting them.
I forget that
But no, that sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the images, the storyboard images that Bob published to Quantum yesterday, Wednesday.
And I had an idea that we call the Ghost Rider, the first one with a horse and that. Well, up in the volcano where all the hot lava and all that, there's a place for all the Ghost Riders to be, and set up something to where, like, in between, if you have to do something.
You know, with the Ghost Rider thing too, I was kind of thinking about that as well when you brought that up. And instead of saying Ghost Rider, we could make it like imply the Ghost Rider first of all, but then like when it comes to like Death, okay, the one thing that Death and Dale have in common, since they're like distant cousins and they don't really get along with one another, because you know, Death is intellectual and smart, and Rex is, well, he's a hillbilly. But the one thing they agree with is that freaking goody-goody two-shoe freaking guy running around on that motorcycle, that cool freaking trendy jacket. And whenever they get together, they just talk smack on Ghost Rider. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, kind of put a little humor in there. I would make it to where like every once in a while this character like the Ghost Rider comes in and he's just, you know, all so famous and everybody loves the Ghost Rider and stuff, and it's like
Right.
whatever, dude. You know, whatever.
And
It's like take your leather jacket and mosey on along.
and then have another idea of the Black Phoenix rising and grabs one or do whatever it wants to do to whatever there.
Hmm.
Like we call that group of that type of dragon, Roger.
Well, I didn't want to do all that. He keeps
Well,
he keeps coming up with like he doesn't understand like I'm wanting to make something humorous and stuff. He wants to like talk about like wild stuff and
well, you know, giving someone a hot foot, you know, or grabbing someone and throwing them into
that's not
into
funny.
water.
It's not funny, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, gentlemen,
Yeah.
we are approaching the hour, so I think I'll call this quantum gathering to order. Although not every one of our guests, hopefully, are here. We are here, and we are a quorum. So we are now officially in the quantum gathering. So govern yourselves accordingly, gentlemen. Now, today is an interesting day because we have high hopes. Yes, high hopes. Indeed, I would even say pineapple pie in the sky hopes that Satori D, one of the founding fathers of our small movement, may very well be joining us. We were direct messaging earlier, and he gave me every indication that he would do so. However, he is doubtless working on Satori Standard Time, and was confused about whether we were going to be here at 8 Pacific or 8 Eastern. Of course, we are in 8 Eastern, the dread and envy of all other and hence lesser time zones. Yeah, so I can understand where that might cause some delay on his part. My cousin Lynette, who joined us once before, and I think actually joined briefly on a round table or something for a few minutes once before that, also indicated she may show up, who might provide us with a much needed addition to our voice acting ability, because we also have a very interesting script to do tonight. So I think we have. On the other hand, this could also be it. I have no idea how the evening's going to go. I have hopes that Quantum MG will be here as well, but I have not seen him yet. So we live in hope, as the early Christians said.
He's been quiet for a couple of days. Just
He
been having
has.
like,
The last
for
time I
a
did
week
have
or
a communication with him, he indicated that he was planning on being here today, but that was days ago and it was very brief. Something like "see a Thursday man" or something like that, which doesn't really indicate any kind of a solid. And keeping in mind that this is a very busy time of year for him, and he is the owner, so he has twice as many responsibilities. Somebody calls in sick, he's got to go cover the hours. So.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's proceed with an interesting discussion of something worthy of the quantum gathering until such time as we figure out how many people are actually here and we can proceed to our dramatic reading. And I caught some of that gardening show you guys were doing. That looked very interesting.
Yeah, it was fascinating. Bob was showing us one operation, fruit growing operation.
Yeah, they have quite the layout there, and over the years I've heard descriptions of what's going on, and It's so funny. I live in an agricultural area myself, although a completely different agriculture. Most of the farming around here is dairy cattle. Actually, is the vast majority of things. But it's
That's
still, yeah,
much like where I am, actually. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still basically an industry. When you get to a certain level, there are economic decisions you have to make and regulations you have to fulfill. Nothing like what they have, from the stories I've heard. Um, but yeah, it's an amazingly complex thing. One of the things I worked on, I should say, I worked at farms for a while. I think I've mentioned to you guys I used to repair and maintain silo unloaders, which is a machine that they use in silos to load and unload silage. And so I was spending a lot of time on farms. Obviously, this is where this equipment is, so we would go out and like maintain and repair it, fix things. And when I first got this job, I'd never really spent a lot of time talking to farmers as such. And although I had like kids in my class that were sons of farmers, we were all kids, and most of them were on their way to college anyway. So they weren't farmers yet. So I met this, I don't think I know farmers, and one of the things I discovered was these were some of the most intelligent, bright people I ever met. And I realized that this was a business where you had a razor thin margin sometimes. And these guys had to figure everything. The first time I ever saw those energy efficient light bulbs, I saw them on a farm in a barn because this guy had to have 50 of them to burn light so he could like milk his cows. And these were these cooler white bulbs that used like 35% less electricity or something like that. And he's like, only so many cents per day each, but he counted every penny. One guy fed his cows a plastic scrubby because it took up room in the stomach, didn't decay or hurt the cow, and thus the cow ate more slowly, ate less.
Okay.
Less of a burden on the food supply. Apparently did no harm to the cow. Don't know if it was USDA approved, in which case this was in Minecraft. But yeah, these were really intelligent guys, many of whom had gone to college with degrees in agriculture, ecology, and biology and stuff like that too. It's a difficult job, and how they keep afloat in that environment with all that ultra regulation is amazing.
I know in this country, and especially where I am, is again cattle, but the milk industry especially is a very sort of in Britain is a very extreme sort of ruthless sort of industry with very little margins.
And Satori has joined us. Greetings, OB Shaman.
Hey, what's up? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
We can. You just missed Bob by only the slightest margin. She sends her love as always, and I think she's actually listening, or she was saying she was planning on listening. So,
okay, cool.
So she's with us in spirit, if nothing else, and we're really glad you're here. We were just kind of getting rolling, and seeing what was going to go on tonight, and seeing how many people we had for our dramatic reading, which has become a really central thing in our environment. But welcome back. How long has it been, dude, since you've been on a quantum gathing? None like this one, I dare say.
No. I'm trying to think. We did do a reading. I forgot what it was, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's been a while. It's been a while, and
actually,
you've been. Really...
I think this is the first show that I've ever done with Satori.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's.
I just imagine everybody knows who Mark Edworthy is. This is Sir Mark Edworthy, first Viscount Edworthy. We call him Lord Edworthy sometimes. This is Satori D, the little bee shaman, and Flute of the Smoking Mirror, or something like that. You have all your titles down.
We've been following each other on Minds for a good decade now, I would imagine.
Yeah, Minds, yeah. Anybody on Minds would know it's Satori D for sure.
And of course, Roger.
Yeah, what's up, Roger?
Oh, he's smoking a cigarette right now.
Oh, okay.
My name is Robert's
brother Robert. Yeah, he is the other half of the brothers Hanson.
And,
something of an idea.
You just gotta have a sense of humor when it comes to me. Yeah.
That always helps.
Yep.
So Satori, you've been away for a long time. What the heck have you been doing?
Just chilling, enjoying life. I like
Says the poet.
you know
Says the,
one
says the
time
videographer.
we had a show where it was just like 10 minutes, like I forgot, like 10 minutes I'll be there with her. Oh, just 10 more minutes or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the joke was that like everybody's thinking, oh, Satori D's like doing crazy shit. He's like smoking DMT or contacting Echo or something. And then it's like I was like, no, I'm just like making dinner or something. I mean the fun thing that I've been doing is getting ready for Delirium 2 with what do you call it? Are you actually Douglas Rushkoff had to like cancel. He was gonna do both nights, Team Human, but we're gonna have like the Bay Area premiere of Nova 78 about the Nova convention with William S. Burroughs. So
Right.
that should be pretty cool. And then like the second night, there's gonna be performances and there's gonna be talks. But I'm part of the performance with Are You Serious and Pizza T. So it's like
Beautiful, man. That's great.
Pizza T is gonna do some like what he's been doing, and so like he has like this like Grateful Dead like cover band, but he calls it Digital Dead, and like he has a DeLorean, and he like travels back into like different concerts and plays the song, and he has it like synced up to like videos, so he's
Right.
like jamming out with the band,
Nice.
and so I forgot how many different songs he has for that, but I think for the set he's gonna play like 2, and then it's gonna be like the song that me and Ryu did. It's called well, actually we're gonna start with that one, Ritual Sacrifice of the Posthuman, which is a pretty cool one. Hopefully, Ryu has this idea of getting like the different guests, and we're gonna like dance around like in circles on stage. We're gonna have like props. That's what I've been doing too. But anyways, so then after that, like Pizza T does a couple songs from the Digital Dead, and then it's gonna be Ryu with like some spoken word, and then like some like Satori Delic shit. So that's gonna be interesting to do. I think it's gonna be something like the weird shit I've been doing with sampling like quotes from William S. Burroughs.
Right. Yeah, that's very interesting stuff. Now, what's this is going to be the same venue as you were working at before last year?
Yeah, the gray area in San Francisco. It's a pretty cool spot.
See, I'm probably not going to be able to make it out to the West Coast for this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Are there going to be any like any recordings of this event?
Yeah.
Live streaming?
The gray area live streams it. So
Nice.
I probably could drop it in the Discord so you could check it out.
That would be groovy.
Yeah.
And of course, we can do any links at all that you'd like to share in the description of this when it's finally published.
Oh yeah. I'll give you the link to the gray area event.
That would be cool. Maybe get a few people to show up. No, just the sort of thing. I really would love if we could get you on the East Coast where you'd be like, within driving distance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like the first Delirium thing, it was just like I was helping out. Are you doing like flyers and visuals, right?
Right.
And I've been doing music videos for him for a while now. And then he's like, "Are you gonna go to the event?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna try." And he's like, "Oh, if you're gonna go, I want you to like introduce a couple people, and like, would you be comfortable?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I guess." Like, I'm not gonna turn that down. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Like I was debating, like, would it be worth it to go all the way up there?
Right.
But like now that I have an opportunity to be like part of the event, I'm like, it'll be worth it just make friends and like make connections. So now,
Can you explain what you guys are talking about?
We've had this. Are You Serious is a cyberpunk like writer. He did a magazine back in the 90s called Mondo 2000, and it's all about like psychedelics and like early internet culture. And now he does music, and he does other things, but mainly music. And I've helped him do music videos for his last album that was last year, and he had an event, like an album release party, and it went pretty
So
good.
Robert, this is music combined with stage performance
Yeah,
and
yeah,
lighting and poetry. So it's a multimedia presentation of art and poetry,
yeah,
but it's
Oh,
musically based. So we're talking about a stage show. That's what he's
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
like
like a
3
stage
in
show.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's a
Oh,
stage
okay.
show. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
yeah.
what type of brand of music goes with it?
So
Ah.
I would say like Pizza T and RU's music. So that would be the first. Was like Kingdom of Delirium. That's like I say like cyberpunk with like some like acid hip hop sampling. So
Hmm.
like he has like RU likes to do like weird riffs of like old like psychedelic songs, and then like
Uh-huh.
Pizza T likes to like shred on the guitar, and then he like samples in like lyrics from like Terrence McKenna or something like that, and that's usually
Nice.
like how their songs go. But like what we're doing now is slightly different. Well, there's more of a story, like it's more of a this whole story of like Pizza T has a DeLorean and he's back in time. And then RU's like, "Hey, dude, we got a show." And then like madness ensues where that's where I come in, and I've been like
Wow.
developing,
When madness
developing.
ensues.
Yeah, I've been developing, the full delirium and this character called Hanasabi I Sirius, and so like, but like the story is the story that I've been developing. We're not really telling that. We're just gonna show like, like they're in the DeLorean, then like this weird music comes on, and then like it's like a floating head of Hanasabi I Sirius, and it's like, oh, the DMT assassins are here, and there's like, oh, like what the fuck is this music going on, and it's like the whole thing is like if anybody wants to really know the story, is like different vibes and different music like gets either them trapped in different times or not. And so like RU's trying to mess up the timeline, and then like the DMT assassins like number one job, well, not number one job, but one of its job is like don't fuck with RU's timeline, because Hanasabi I Sirius is RU's brother. So
Uh-oh.
and so like, so this is like some lore that RU Sirius did back in the day, but he never did anything with it. And then one time I told him like, hey, like after a podcast, I'm like, hey, dude, I'm like, I could do all sorts of crazy shit. Like, if there's anything that you wanna like, you just don't have like time for to like flesh out like a narrative or a character. And so he's like, I never done anything with Hanasabi DMT assassins. And then he's like, I'll throw you what I read about it, and then like you can do whatever you want with it. So I'm like, okay.
Nice.
And so like
Ah.
he has this like one. It's based off of this. His like a chapter in the book that he's gonna release soon. They're gonna read some from the book too at the event. But anyways, it's so like it's from a real event of the Mondo house. So like this is like early '90s. They have a magazine and they're throwing a party, and then I guess RU gets like DMT, but like the one from the Toad, like the really crazy one. And apparently,
Whoa.
I think he gets it from the mail, and so like he has a shit ton of this, and he's like, everybody's at the house, and he just starts giving everybody DMT, and then like the thing is like he's all fried out, and he's like, I feel like a DMT assassin's like destroying everybody's sense of reality, and he just like starts giving like everybody DMT, and like people are just like all freaking out at the house and stuff like that. So that's like the seed of like what the DMT assassins are. And so like I've developed like music and different like poems and even like characters revolving around the DMT assassins and all this kind of stuff. So we're gonna use some of that, and like that one song I was talking about is like really heavily DMT assassin influence.
Nice.
So
And
Nice.
that was a pretty crazy brutal song. It's like metal with a little bit of like dark wave kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
So that should be a good show. That should be a
yeah,
good
it
show.
should be fun.
So
Too
are
bad,
you
if you guys can get out to Boston or New York or something, that would be great.
Yeah.
is it
That-
like from Back to the Future? like it's like a story.
Yeah, the
from that.
DeLorean. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
time
the
travel
DeLorean.
motif.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't for sure. That's why I was wanting to find out because that
Yeah,
does
yeah.
sound. And
Yeah.
like that train too, the time
Yeah,
travel
so-
train.
Yeah. So Pizza T, who's the musician of like so like right now I guess like this would be the Dreaming Team like collective. It's
Right.
like me, Ryu, and Pizza T like doing the performance. So like Pizza T already has the Digital Dead, and right now I think he's in the East Coast. I don't know. He's like following Fish, and I think he's like playing like the side show.
Oh, okay. So you might
And
get some of the
selling merch.
shows.
Yeah, and he's doing the Digital Dead. That's where he gets in the DeLorean. Like I seen it. I think I don't know. I posted it before, but anyways, they have like a cardboard DeLorean, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to go back in like 1987 and play with
Right.
Grateful
Right.
Dead." And then they jam out to I forgot what.
Touch
Some
of
of the
Gray or
songs.
something.
Yeah, Touch of Grey.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
big back then.
Yeah. So that's what they do. Like as they tour with Fish, I guess, or whatever. But so
Right.
like we're doing a little bit of that, and then my my little twist on it is like during them coming back to Delirium for the show is like the DMT assassins show up, and then we take them to the underworld.
Ooh.
Get all
Un-
crazy.
What do you mean underworld?
So like in my imagination, the DMT assassins and Hanasabi Isirius like live in an underground bunker underneath Mescaline City, which could also be like the underworld, or like the Mayan underworld, or
Oh,
something
like the death.
yeah.
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 So there's also a story that I built that like back in 1968 there was an acid test in over here in Watts, and anyways in my story is Hanasabi Isirius, who at this time is Ken's brother. I don't know what his name will be, but anyways he's at one of these shows, and he has a band called the Satori Dalek Experience. and so like they play the show and it goes great, and like they're like, yeah, fuck the dead, we're gonna be the next great psychedelic band. And so they have the next show, but like before the show, like they're getting like really high off their own supply, and they do this like peyote ritual, and they like everybody goes mad. And then like the band breaks up. Hanasabi's never like seen again. Anyways,
Wow.
Hanasabi like stays like in the underworld. Like that's how powerful the ceremony was, that like he ends up in Mescaline City and he decides to stay, and then like he starts to fight timeline battles in Mescaline City and Club of the Hash Stream.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
How long is this play?
Well, our performance is probably going to be like I'm going to really push for 23 minutes right now. Anyway, it's anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. But a lot of the story is just like the story that I've developed. Like I said, well, the first song is the one I did, and then there's going to be another part where we like do poetry and we chant. So that would have to do with a little bit of the story, but like the story has been something I've been like developing my own self in a sense. But yeah. Oh, if you follow Bob Dub Radio, a lot of this story unfolds in the music and in that.
I did notice some things that sounded familiar.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
I've been very tied up this week with work and stuff, so I haven't been able to follow as much on YouTube as I generally do. But I'll try to catch up when I get a day off.
Yeah, that's another link I'll give for Bob Dub Radio.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I check it.
Radio.
I check that out all the time. It's really got a lot of Satori stuff in there. Like,
Yeah.
Very Satori-delic, very Satori-delic.
he's got some amazing stuff in there.
Well,
How
Bob
many-
was just on earlier. And she was talking about how much she owes to Dory, the way her work is progressing. And you have been working with Bob for a while now,
Mhm.
Dory. How have you seen her art change?
I think because of like different stuff we've done, she's been more confident. And even though she has her self doubt, and it's kind of funny. This is like for everybody. We play these own like ideas of whatever other people are thinking or whatever in our heads. So like
Right.
I just simply was kind of busy, so I wasn't getting back to Bob Dub, and I gave her the latest track for Bob Dub Radio, and I didn't give her any direction, so she was like all struggling. She's like, oh, what do I do? You told me like I could do whatever I want. Do you really mean that? And like
Yeah.
she decided to do something different, and then I get back to it, and I'm just like, yeah, do whatever you want. And then so she changes, like the beginning, and she does other things. But anyways, that's all to say that like I think before she would have like not like she had to
Frozen
go through that cycle to in order to get like the confidence, and then she did what she wanted to do, which added like something that like I told her like afterwards too, like that's the point, is like you do whatever you think is right, then I'm going to do whatever I think is right, and then like in between, that's kind of like the third mind kind of shit, where it's like things will sync up, or things will develop in ways that like neither one of our singular minds could do, and like that's the point of like collaborating. And so like I think she gets more confidence in herself, or she gets more inspired to like challenge herself to do different things.
So how many parts do you guys have on your radio station, or how many different things that you have planned for?
Yeah. So the last I posted it today. It's side B of a third mixtape. So like in my head, like this is a radio show that's broadcasted from the bunker of Mescaline City, but the only way we have access to it is like these obscure mixtapes that the Satori Dalek kid found in his uncle's basement. And so
Ooh.
like a mixtape would have side A and side B, and so that's how we released it. And then like in between, like the songs are like coded with like the story that I've been telling you about, like Hanasabi Ice Sirius and DMT Assassins and all that.
So
kind of
this
stuff.
is interesting. So it's basically we're listening to these found cassette tapes now. Are you really old enough to remember mixtapes?
Yeah, I made mixtapes.
You too? Okay. I made mixtapes. I had mixtapes. I had lots of them.
Yeah.
So we're getting this second remove. This is like the echoes of something.
Yeah.
From Mescaline City, but you don't have to be in Mescaline City to hear this.
Yeah. You just got YouTube. But what's also funny is that I think this is probably at first it's just like a subconscious thing, but then like later, the more you deal with it, you're like, okay, this is probably why I want to use it. But William S. Burroughs, like he had a whole thing about like weird like voices in tapes.
Yeah. We were talking about that just a few days ago, actually.
Yeah.
I call those atmospherics. I've heard.
Yeah. And so and then he had like this whole weird thing, and I use it for the DMT Assassins. So like, there's no coincidence that like there's stuff that William S. Burroughs has done that is like influencing Hanasabi, Ice Series, and the DMT Assassins. Like instantly when Ryu told me about Hanasabi, Ice Series, and the DMT Assassins, I was like, oh, William S. Burroughs, and then so like that's how I started to build like the character in the world or whatever.
Right.
But so yeah, there's a lot of Burroughs that I'm using, and so like there's another thing about the DMT Assassins. They're gin busters, like like Ghostbusters, but they go around like collecting different like novel gin. And so
like Genie's gin.
Yeah.
Is that a game or music? Music a group.
So there's actually plans for a video game for the DMT Assassin,
Oh,
and that's where some of the lore I've been developing, and I don't know how far along they've gotten along with it, but there's like
Have they got a game developer?
there's a well, I guess there is a game developer because he wrote some white paper and he asked
Really?
us,
Okay.
yeah, he asked us for like characters, and so like I wrote who Satori D is and who
Right.
Hanasabi is and
Right.
who the DMT assassins are,
Right.
and
Right.
and so I also wrote like a little bit of a map out, and I kind of like I forgot what. So like I was thinking like really like old games like kind of like Ninja Turtles, but with DMT assassins.
Okay.
That's how I was thinking about it. But way back in the day when I was in high school, I took computer science and we were like doing what you call HTML coding, and this is like early like JavaScript kind of stuff. But anyways, one of our projects was to make a web game, and so I just went and I got like what was it, like Space Invaders, and then does anybody know who Aquabats are? Like it's an old ska band. Anyways,
They sound familiar. I think I've heard of them.
yeah, and so like at the time, I thought it would be funny is like I changed out like the Space Invaders for the Sand Fleas, and then I made the thing like a Aquabat, and like I made this whole like video game with the Aquabats fighting the Sand Fleas. It's based off of Space Invaders. Anyways, that's kind of how I envision like the DMT assassins. Like basically, like we rip off like Mario for like a chapter, and then but it's a DMT assassin, and he has to like go around like, doing different things.
Presumably back then, you got to laugh. You said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you called that a old game.
Yeah.
In my sort of, that's a relatively new game, to be fair. Then, because I'm much older. But I presume when you were talking about web-based games, you were using Macromedia Flash or Adobe Flash at the time. Yeah, that would be the most obvious.
Yeah. We're using Flash.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is it going to be like what you call like where when you make a game, and are you like going to sell sections, but to where or it's going to be one complete game where you play the whole game, or they be sections all broke up in chunks? The game will be for people to buy them, or how would you?
It is kind of an educational tool. Would you be selling it, or would it be, open source? Or have you thought that far ahead yet?
No, I forgot. Like, I guess Ari just wanted to like throw a bunch of ideas out there, and I think he's always wanted a game, and so like we started to mess around with that idea. But like, I don't know like how far the game developer is, but like so. Anyways, he like said, "Hey, how about we develop a game? Can a large language model do a game?" And I'm like, "Not really." I was like, "They could do like a narrative based game," and I did like a little mock of that. And then I was like, "Anything like so like that one went in the back burner." But recently, like almost a year ago now. But anyways, there's a article that he wrote about it. But anyways, in it, it's like specs for a game, and the guy who wrote it is a game developer. So I don't know if he's like independently like developing it or he's pitching it to like an actual like software developing thing. But anyways, we gave him all of our like characters and like the basic idea for the game. So I don't know exactly how far along it is, but it's just interesting and funny because like going back to like those tapes. So like I think it's interesting, important, and fun, and just like cool to like things that we do on stage or we have part of our act. Like for instance, the DeLorean and like these cassette tapes, and like actually make like cassette tapes with like a Bob Dub radio mixtape. You know, and like have that, like if anybody like wants to like actually buy it or whatever. Or
Yeah.
but like the same thing too is like we reference the video game, and then like because like there's vending spots, like you know, you could buy like different things.
Right. Right.
And then we have like a video game that you could like buy, I guess. I don't know exactly how that would work, but I think doing different things like that, like for instance, because you know, I know me and Pizza T, we don't know how feasible or how we're gonna do it, but like I didn't know that I was gonna perform in Delirium, you know, 6 months ago, and so you know anything could happen in a sense if you keep on like working at whatever you're working at. And so, anyways, that's all to say that like we want to continue to like do this like weird performance thing and like grow out like the different like artifacts that are like part of this like weird DMT world that we're building. And so like people will be able to buy like a video game about
You're
the
more of the creative input. Deal with the creative stuff first, and then deal with the sort of business side later. Sort of.
Yeah. I'm definitely the like person that they toss like to build either like narrative or like characters and on like lyrics for like the music or whatever. That's how like I first started. Is like, hey, we want to develop like a new set for the new show, and it's like, do you have any ideas? And I'm like, oh, I just have this one idea about Homicide BI Serious.
So you probably be trying that new technology where they got the little things that they put on the suit thing, and it follows you where you go and all that. Where like when you make moves up for your game, it like when you roll, it shows a figure rolling, and where when you hold something up like a light or whatever,
like a full immersion experience or something like that. It's always
Pokemon Go.
They got stuff like that they do where you program by what the person does. It follows the moves of the person.
Okay.
And it puts it into the computer, into the game.
They probably have an LLM now that'll like do all that for you beforehand. But they don't, they will.
That sort of concept is extremely expensive because of the equipment.
Yeah. But now you're talking about all this work you're doing with this very delirious project you've got going. But what about your other writings? Are you doing anything much work with that? Your own poetry?
Yeah, I do have like the whole the Forgotten Obsidian Queen. I have like 7 chapters of that I'm, and so like that's actually part of the narrative, but it's just like it's such an obscure one that I'm like kind of doing it by itself and not bringing it into like the Delirium stuff yet.
Right.
I
was wondering if you're concentrating so much on the Delirium stuff that you're not concentrating as much on your other stuff, or do you divide up your creativity differently?
I think like oscillating from both is good. Like you know, like I think doing one type of thing like too much, and then like everything becomes like a nail. Like you have a hammer and everything's a nail.
Right.
And so like if you like change it up and like now you're dealing with like not like psychedelic stuff and that's not straightforward, or you're dealing with like different things like a historical period or whatever, or you're switching it up. I think it's good, or at least for me, I like to do that.
Right.
How good would the stuff would be to where if you play it through an RV, a VR, if you're on the internet and you wanted to watch it through VR, how would that work?
I think you are being a bit overly ambitious, maybe.
And keep in mind, you're talking to the artist, not the technician.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But RU does have a 3D, I mean, a VR music video, and we did
Really?
have this was like 2 or 3 years ago, a virtual event, and where they had like it was with we used to have it Hubs. Remember Hubs? It was like with Mozilla or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they
Yeah.
had a event, and part of the event they like showcased Mondo 2000, which is RU's old cyberpunk magazine. And so like they had some of his music, and like you could go to like a pyramid and then go inside the pyramid and then like go up in the pyramid. And I forgot
Right.
what song that was in there. Like
This is something.
But yeah, but
something
they had
sim-
he did have a VR event, which was pretty. I didn't do it in a VR set, but I was in there flying around in my avatar,
something
like we used to
that's
do.
similar to what Mike and Bob are working on at the moment. And interesting, and they told this story to Mike before, but I think 20 years ago, if not longer now, actually longer now, I went to a so-called virtual reality conference using a platform, using a very early virtual reality platform called Alpha Worlds, which doesn't exist anymore. One of the very early, must have been 97, 98. It was a business conference sort of thing, but yeah, trade show sort
Big
of thing.
clunky mask, big mask and headphones.
No, it was just it was actually adaptive, augmented VR. It was just much like what you, Bob, and Mike
Yeah,
are working on.
I remember the old office setting they used to have where it had the desk and then somebody was sitting behind the desk and you could talk and it would have like your voice going into the person behind the desk.
And you can walk around this
Yeah.
office or this trade show.
Yeah.
The various stands.
So they were working on the technology even then. Well, you know, we're approaching that time when we do a dramatic reading. However, I don't know if the script we have is appropriate for the talent pool available to us today. So that suggests that another script is in order. I take it, Satori, you wouldn't mind reading?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm down.
You were referring to the one that Bob published on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean we could do it.
Definitely.
Really, the only thing we'd have to do is separate the three ghosts. There's three different voices for the ghosts.
Right.
But other than that, I mean,
all right.
Yeah, I'll be a ghost.
Satori the ghost or ghost.
They're like, is it like past, future, present, or like,
this is Mike. Okay, that's all I got to say. You know Mike. So I don't think he like differentiates past, present, and future. You know?
I think they're mythological. They're mythological critters.
Okay.
The story about death.
Actually, we started on the script last week and we didn't actually finish it, did we?
This, I think, is a continuation from that, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was the death thing.
Yeah. This is what she posted to do this week.
Do you have a copy of it? I can pull the file up.
If you can put it in the chat, that would be great, Roger.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I worked all day and had very little sleep, so I'm not at the top of my scintillation. There is such a thing as a scintillometer, and my scintillometer reading is like very low today. There is. It's a scintillometer. That was one of the things that wanted when I was a kid. I wanted to be an astronomer because you would get to work with a scintillometer. Unfortunately, I later discovered that most of the equipment and theories that I had fallen in love with as a child were products of the late 19th and early 20th century, and astronomy was very boring when I actually said no astrolabes, you know.
Sycamore. That's it. I can't even say it. Sycamore. What does it measure?
An astrolabe?
No, a sycamore.
I'm not sure. Oh, a scintillometer? The amount of scintillation that a star has, the amount of twinkling. It's actually like a gauge that you look through, and it would tell you how much the star twinkles. I think you use it in conjunction with a telescope. And but of course, the scintillation has to do with seeing too. The amount of atmospheric what do you call motion. And here we are. So we've got Death. That's going to be Mark. Satori can be the ghost.
Well, there's 3 of them. I can be Ghost too.
All right.
And
what am I doing? Am I narrating?
Your character.
No, I'm auto.
oh, actually, have Satori be the narrator since we don't get him on here very much.
Yeah. Can you narrate, Satori? Do you mind?
Yeah, I can narrate.
Excellent. Special guest narrator.
And then we play around with ghosts. So Satori, which ghost you want to be? 1, 2, 3.
I'll be 2.
Okay, and I can be 1 or 3. Which one you want to be, Mark?
Whatever you want.
I'll
3.
Okay.
Well, if Mark's going to be Death and he's talking to the ghosts, maybe I should do the.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking. Sorry.
Even though there are a few lines for Otto specifically,
He's only got like 1, don't you?
Yeah. So I can be a ghost as well.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
It all works out.
So which ghost am I going to be? Ghost 3?
Your choice. I'll be the other one.
I don't care, dude.
Okay. 3. I'll be 1.
All right, I'll be Ghost 3. You can be Ghost 9. You're number 1, Raj.
Well, that just didn't sound right.
Good organizational skills.
We did it.
Yes, sir. We did.
All righty.
Okay.
All right, everybody have their script? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. You want to do the countdown, Roger, and then Satori, jump right in.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Black water folds itself against the shore of a stone. Otto's boat is already pulling away. Figures aboard it grow smaller in the mist. Otto at a pole, Vessia with her silver threads, Corin with the broken lantern, Myro flickering like a thought that refuses to settle. Death stands at the shore. He is not the ancient, ragged figure that sat before the river of souls. Not anymore. The journey has already begun changing him. His face is younger. His body is less bent. He wears jeans and not a gray hoodie, and some absurd apron that says "World's Best Dad," which would have been funnier if the universe had not been so fond of prophecy. Behind him lies the river. Above him rides the 9 layers. For most souls, the 9 layers are descent, but death is not a soul. Death was the keeper of souls. So when death left the river, it is not to descend. For death, inconveniently, there were stairs.
Right.
He looked up. Far above, barely visible through storm and dark, pale shape, um, a pale shape waits at the summit of the mountain, a throne.
That seems unnecessarily symbolic.
As Otto gives as Otto gives a black curtain another lazy push at his pole, he speaks nonchalantly to no one in particular.
Backwards is worse, in case anyone was wondering.
I was not wondering.
The boat vanished. Silent, it leaves behind, not empty. It is listening. A pale black stone appears before him, climbing out of the shore, and so Death proceeds towards the first height of his upward road, the place where judgment has been left to rot in its own fortune. The path winds through downward courts and broken thrones. Scales hang in the air without chains. Gravels strike stone without hands. Empty roads sit on benches carved from old occasions. Empty roads sit on benches carved from old acquisitions. Everywhere there were Everywhere there were verdicts, not justice. Verdicts. 3 ghosts wait upon their steps.
You judge kings and beggars with the same kettle.
That was considered fair
By whom?
by the system.
There are few phrases in the realm more dangerous than the system. It is what people say to no one present. It is what people say when no one present wants to admit they built the machine.
Did you ever look
At what?
at us?
I looked at the weight.
Weight is what remains after the story has been removed.
The scales above them groan. Death reaches towards one. It tips violently, though nothing sits upon it.
I thought judgment was the end of meaning.
No,
Judgment is what people do when they have run out of patience for meaning.
You weighed me.
you boiled me.
You decided what I was worth.
I did not decide your worth.
Then what did you decide?
Death does not answer quickly. This is new. Death is accustomed to questions from mortals, but usually they are simpler. Why now? What happens next? Can I bring my dog? Is he less? Is he less accustomed to questions that require personal growth?
I decided where you went.
That this is better?
No.
The path brightens by one shade. Death climbs. After judgment comes a layer that regrets and love that have become indistinguishable, which is inconvenient for everyone who hopes their suffering would at least be well organized. The black courts dissolve into a valley of letters. Unseen letters fall from the sky like tired birds. Wedding rings hang above the thorn bush. Apologies float in puddles. Doorways open onto rooms where no one came back in time. Death passes a table for 2. No one eats. No one leaves. 3 ghosts wait near a rain-filled doorway.
You separated us.
No.
You did.
No, I arrived when separation had already happened.
That sounds like something a tax collector would say.
I have never collected taxes.
Death says this with dignity of a man who has committed many terrible acts but refuses to be associated with revenue administration.
He wrote to me the night before he died.
He never sent it.
Why?
Pride, fear, weather, the usual committee.
Love makes people ridiculous.
Yes.
The ghost looks surprised.
I mean, I have observed that.
Have you felt it?
Death opens his mouth. No answer comes. There is a silence that means ignorance. There's a silence that means grief. There is a silence that means someone has discovered has discovered a entire room in a house of existence that had never entered.
I have weighed love.
Then you have weighed the wrong part. The rain turns into smoke. Death climbs. The next level receives him with shine, appetites, little altars to everything mortals mistook for salvation, and several substances that would later be illegal in most sensible jurisdictions. Gold, bottles, mirrors, dice, crowns, weapons, feast tables, applaud machines, locked cabinets, and small growing screens all whisper at once. 3 ghosts stand among the shrines.
You were addicted too.
No.
Every day, same river, same kettle, same judgment.
Again and again and again.
Duty is not addiction.
Of course not. Duty has better manners.
It says please before it eats your life.
Here's you a chair, a title, a room no one else wants.
Death looks back down the path. Far below, he can almost hear the river of souls, the kettle boiling, the tiny muffled screams, the endless labor.
I was useful.
So was the cup.
But no one asked whether the cup was thirsty. Death breathes, it's almost a mortal breath.
I do not want to be useful anymore. I just want to be helpful.
The shrines go silent. It's an appalling thing for a cosmic functionary to say. Somewhere a department is collapsing. For one dangerous moment, the whole underground seems to stop processing. No gravel, no scales, no whispering river. Even the shrines hold their breath, which is impressive, since several of them are made of dice. And then, far above him, the smoke opens into fog. New stairs appear. Death looks back towards the river. He looks up. And then the underground had expected him to repent, and he expected him to return. It had perhaps expected him to apologize to the kettle. Instead, Death climbs.
There you go.
Yay!
Yay.
Well done. Thank you.
That was
That was
excellent.
great. Wow. What a great show.
Bob Dub's gonna like that because you narrated.
Yeah.
I was thinking during the line, I do not want to be useful anymore. I just want to be helpful. I was just thinking, Death, I do not want to be useful anymore. I just want to be loved.
I just want to be seen.
Yes, acknowledge.
Just
Oh,
acknowledge.
Yeah.
Death, you've been working really hard this time. You get a
really
golden star. Are you okay?
I think Terry Pratchett did a story about Death decides he needs a vacation. Just wants to go fishing. Do stuff like mortals do. It's like, but there's a problem. Nobody's dying. It's just like
it's like it's all piling up.
People are waiting. People are like, where is he? Yeah, the birds are there.
This train's not coming. What's going on? You see
all the different heavens and hells. They're all like waiting. We're paying. You know how much brimstone costs? Come on, we got it.
I just realised something. The script I was reading is a lot shorter than the script you were reading. I was reading Bob Bob's first Death Thrones.
You got everything though. I mean, every line
Yeah.
that you read, I read.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't miss any lines.
Yeah, I was following along.
Yeah, the version that is on just is a lot shorter than the version that I'm reading on Element. A lot
Oh.
shorter.
Really?
Yeah. If you have a look, the one that Bob posted.
Yeah, because
on
I
Tuesday.
stopped at the beginning and because it goes, then he looks up and then it goes narrator again,
Yeah.
and I felt like
Yeah.
there was like a part for death or something.
Maybe that was it.
Well, I ended up downloading the split episodes that she did because when she first did it, it was huge. And then she split them up into 3 different parts. So I downloaded that one and we used it for the rehearsal last week. So I don't know. Maybe she did some quick changes and stuff.
Yeah, it happens.
Actually, Bob's watching on YouTube at the moment. That was the best thing that has ever happened to me. Okay, I'm not sure if she's talking about this. Thank you for being so magnificent.
You know who it is, dude. Seriously. I guarantee she is freaking on cloud 9 right now that Satori did the narration. I can guarantee you she is on cloud 9.
We still have another 6 layers to go through. Not sure what she means.
Oh, that's different levels.
Yeah, so like Death goes to the 9 layers or something in this play.
Right. Yeah.
She started an epidemic with this story. To be honest with you, Satori, like we've got plans. Like me and her and Robert were brainstorming last Tuesday about a redneck hell.
Okay.
And this guy, what it is Death has a distant cousin named Dell.
Okay.
And he, in the last episode we did, Death ended up putting a leash on the Hound of Hell. That's a 3-headed Hound of Hell. And now we've been like talking, and we're going to make it to where he takes the Hound of Hell to Dell, who's his distant cousin, so that he can dog watch him.
Okay.
So he lives in the swamp, right? He lives in the swamp of hell, South Hell or something.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever you do, don't take off the muzzle. And like the first thing Dal does is like, you seem nice. I'm gonna take off this muzzle.
It's just interesting. Like he ends up making like a mystical chain that's supposed to be unbreakable, and he hooks it up to like this semi truck tire, and he puts it around a pole to keep him on the thing, and he keeps breaking off that chain. And every time he breaks off the chain, he sends Dell into like an adventure of just utter chaos. You know what I mean? Because the dog's obsessed with bones.
You want to still inside someone?
Yeah. So he goes off on these adventures trying to capture him and put him back on the chain. It's really...
That should be interesting. Yeah. I like it.
Gnome, Roger.
I'm the gnome too. There's a gnome named Gus, and it's you know how people have gnomes in their front yard? Dell has a gnome that's a real gnome, and he hangs out at the front gate of his house, of his shack. And every time he has to go on an adventure to capture the Hound from Hell, Gus goes with him because he's the smart one. He has all the inventions and the tricks and things like that. So he's the one who actually comes up with the plan,
Wow.
Bob just says, and all of you did it. You are all acted together. It wouldn't have happened without all of you. Thank you so much. But Satori is the father of DWM, where DW, not where's my
MW.
WMW.
Oh, the dude, where's my wallet? Yeah, where's my...
Yeah, ask him the original story. Yeah.
Oh
what's
yeah,
this
so you
deal?
want to know
No
what is
story.
the origins, the secret origins of Dude, Where's My Wallet? Please tell our listeners.
Yeah. So, dude, where's my wallet? Was the joke that like started with I was telling Mike about like this author who's named Oscar Zeta Acosta, and there's like a real mystery
Dr.
where he,
Gonzo.
yeah, the real Dr. Gonzo, and like he writes a book, but then like apparently he like owes money or whatever. No one really knows what happens to him, but like apparently like the law's after him, so he goes down to Mexico, or like the cartel's after him and he goes down to Mexico. Anyways, people are pretty sure that he died down there, but like no one really knows what happened to him. So I was like inventing this story about like what about if like he's down in Mexico and he's running like a Bitcoin mining operation for a cartel. And then I was like, like how annoying that would be. Like, like, so this was like a long time ago. So I was like, like, oh, you're transferring like, millions of dollars in Ethereum. And then you're like, oh, just wait. Like, we got to do it at the right time for the gas fees. And then like you lose like millions of dollars to the cartel. And then you're like trying to explain to them, like, you didn't really lose it. It's like stuck on the block. Like, don't trip.
Right.
It's gonna like, solidify any minute, but it doesn't. And so like, you have to like, so in the original story, I tell Mike like we jack a car and we jack Elon's a rocket ship and we go to the moon and steal his Ethereum that he put on the moon. Remember when he did that? Yeah. So that was the original story that me and Mike owe the cartel like millions of dollars, and in order to like make it up, we have to steal Elon's rocket ship and jack his Ethereum on the moon. So yeah,
Ethereum on the moon.
yeah,
That'd make a great album title, actually.
that'd be a good song. We could have like a theme song for it.
It probably will be a song because Bob is listening, so who knows what'll show up on Bob Well, gentlemen, this has been one of our better shows, I got to say, but it is 10 o'clock, and
Cool.
I got to go to sleep because I got to get up for work at Christ o'clock in the morning, as we used to say. But before we go, I'd like everyone, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here, especially our special guest and founder, really, of this group. What led to this group, Satori. Glad you made it back. Hopefully we'll see you back more often, make things a little more Satori-delic around here. But before we go, we'd like to give our socials, so if anyone wants to check us out or check out our work, they can do so. So, Satori, why don't you lead us off? How do people look for your stuff online?
Yeah, everybody could catch me on mine, Satori D, but also check out YouTube, Mescaline City Blues. That's where Bob Dub Radio's at, and all the crazy shit that we're doing there.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I know this is going to be short and sweet. Mark Edworthy, Lord Edworthy, can you please help us out with your socials?
In fact, yeah, you're right. It's extremely short. Minds.com, username, Medworthy.
Wonderful. Short and sweet. And now the brothers Hanson. How do we contact you guys?
You can find me and Robert on minds.com at Roger_Hanson. You can also find me on X, Roger Hanson at ROGLOL1973. Besides that, we are on Element Matrix at the Infinite Imaginarium and the Quantum Gathering, as well as Roger's Hangout. So you can check us out on there as well. So I have other places, but I'm just too tired to say on there.
Yeah.
Just look around, you'll see Roger, not a problem. Robert will be nearby. As for me, you can check out my website. That's navakavada.org. That's NAVAKAVADA. It's spelled just like it sounds. Otherwise, minds.com finds me a username Otto_X. That's EX because I spell it the fancy way. Check out the Navakavada channel on YouTube or Navakavada Buddhism on BitChute. Some older videos, but some good ones. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. Everyone did a really great job. Oh, and looks like Satori also has a link that he just shared with us. You can also find him at...
that's the link for the Delirium 2 event.
Oh, okay, great. Mondo2000.com stroke Deliria 2 stroke. We'll post that in the information below this show. So thanks again, everyone, for being here. We hope to see you all again next week. Satori, please come back again soon. We really miss you, man.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, guys. Later
Thanks,
on.
guys. Peace. And cut. Good job, everyone. And Satori left the meeting. Oh, my goodness. Well, that went well. Thanks, everyone, for doing such a great job.